Hello and welcome to another edition of Three Things with John Strand. I'm that guy, John Strand, potential future InfoSec influencer. That might be fun. In this particular video, we're going to be talking about incident response communication plans as part of our COVID series, where I got COVID and decided to do a free bit of training on the YouTubes for incident response. But we want to talk about communication plans because whenever something goes wrong, it is absolutely the worst time to try to figure out how everyone's going to communicate with each other when you're actually hacked, because everything is already really stressful and a bunch of people get freaked out about what they should or should not do, and it gets kind of crazy. So let's start with one: out-of-band communication. Now, having out-of-band communication can be something as simple as just like a cell phone. It can be. Now, let's talk about risk profiles and different attackers that you might be coming after. It is entirely possible that you pissed off a nation state and they're coming after you and they have hacked into every single one of your cell phones. That is absolutely a possibility. You may have made like Israel mad, an NSO group or some sultan somewhere, and they've installed malware on all your phones. That is possible. It is also incredibly unlikely that that is actually what is going on. So if you're in the middle of an incident as a standard organization that's not a defense contractor, not United States government, not spy versus spy, hot nation state on nation state action, if you know what I mean, then probably just calling through regular cell phone is going to be fine. We can talk about dirtbags, we can talk about stingrays, we can talk about intercepting cell phone communications, but the reality is that that is possible. But the likelihood of an attacker actually using that against you and your organization is incredibly small. So you've got to look at who your adversaries are, what you think they would actually come after you with, and make your risk determination based on that. You can actually use encrypted communications, Signal and Wire and any type of communication encrypted on your cell phones using VPNs, things of that nature. But once again, you can get into this weird spiral of conspiracy theories. But the point is, have something that's out of band communication that everyone is in agreement on, and make sure that everyone is aware of how to use it. Number two, encryption. Encryption isn't just for communications, even though that is a huge part of it, but it's also data at rest. And when we're talking about encryption, especially when we're talking about evidence, that evidence should be encrypted and it should also be hashed. See, encryption will maintain the integrity of that evidence. So it's not enough just to say it's encrypted, but you also need to have tracking of who has access to it. We could have a server where multiple people have access to data. It can be encrypted, but if I have 95 people that have access to that data and the hacker gets underneath that communication umbrella, then it doesn't really matter at all, does it? We need to have encryption, we need to have tracking and versioning, and we need to be able to have hashing to validate the integrity of that data that we are sharing amongst our team. And how should we go about sharing data on our team? Well, here's the thought. You could use your existing ticketing system. A lot of modern ticketing systems for dealing with standard tickets and IT tickets have a lot of integrity mechanisms built into them. You can see who has made what changes when, who has communicated what at what particular time. Hell, even Microsoft using Teams has a tremendous amount of integrity verification built into it. See, the point is, if you have an existing ticketing system that you're using, like we use Jira in a lot of our services for SOC and also pen testing, that's a great ticketing system with a lot of things behind it. You may want to look at what your existing ticketing system does for you before you go off and start buying a new ticketing system to try to use it just for incident response. The reason why is people know how to use your existing ticketing system. If you have this ticketing system that you only use for an incident and everybody has to learn that stupid thing from scratch, then you're putting in a lot more effort right at the beginning of an incident that you generally don't need to. And that's your three things for incident response communication. Thank you so much, and we will see you in another video.